Grand Hood Rising, Kings and Queens, Trap Witch here in Atlanta, Georgia, coming to bring you the last full moon reading of 2018. It has been a phenomenal year. When I say a phenomenal year, it has been a phenomenal year going through these transits, all these fucking eclipses, all of these transitions into 2019 with you. For those of you who have subscribed to my channel, who have been with me from the beginning of the year, who have been with me before that, I've stayed pretty consistent to every new moon and full moon this year. So for all of you who have given me input on how much help it has been to walk alongside me, I appreciate you so much. 2019 is going to be such a huge major year. I know, at least for me, I'm going to be making a lot of changes to my life as a practitioner, as a provider of spirit, someone who is a bridge to community. I'm making some really huge investments for the sake of my practice, and also, you know, the evolution of it, so that I can help more so in the evolution of community. With that being said, if you feel compelled after this reading, feel free. If you want to make a donation, everything helps. I have a lot of things I'm working on for next year. My Cashapp, my Venmo, and my PayPal will be at the bottom of the video under in the info. If you feel compelled, it's not a major issue. We gonna get it how we live anyway. But I will be doing something different, something I have never done before. I will be adding a full moon ritual specifically for this moon, and a ritual that you can use just any time really afterwards, but I've made it specifically for this moon, for you guys, the last moon of 2018, because it's something I never do, and I wanted to try something new, get a little outside of my comfort zone. So that is available on my website, www.thetrapwitch.com. You're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom, and it's going to be with all of my guides that I have up there. It's for sale. It's $5.55, very affordable, and I'll have some other tips in there, prayer ritual for this moon specifically, because I would love for you to bring in 2018 feeling cleansed, feeling renewed, and implementing a little something different that I was wanting to try. With that being said, those of you who do not know me, my name is The Trap Witch. My first name is actually Tatiana, but my alias is The Trap Witch. I am intercessory. What does that mean? For me, that means I am someone as a practitioner who stands in between to allow people to understand their own power and to bridge the gap, use their tools to bridge the gap over obstacles and the things that they needed to overcome in their life through channeling and divining through their own magic. Every one of us has our own talents, has our own gifts, has our own source of magic. And we need to do our best to protect that, but also use that in this life. So I'm someone who, through divination of cards and just, you know, intuitive nature, help people, guide people to living their best life. I want everybody to flourish. I want my enemies even to flourish in 2019. You know, any water, let's under the bridge. Let's leave all that bullshit in 2018. With that being said, we are moving into a Cancerian full moon, December 22nd, 2018. The last time I did a full moon in Cancer, I swear to God, I was just so in my feelings. It was in the summer. I think it was the full moon in Cancer, but the Cancer moon had me deep in my feelings, honey. This moon seems very promising. It's going to be a closing chapter to a lot of the eclipses that we felt that hit us really hard in the summertime. The past 5 months, I don't know about you, but it has been a roller coaster ride of growth, ups and downs. But as I say, it's like we become spiritual swag surfers, and every time the surf gets a little bit high, we get a little bit better, we get a little bit balanced. We might fall off a little bit here and there, but as long as you're willing to get back up on your feet and try again, you get a little more stability in them knees and them hips and that back and within your heart, and before you know it, every obstacle, you've built up your spiritual stamina, and it doesn't hit you as hard, and we are swagging, surfing over and on. So with that being said, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be pulling some cards for you guys. I'm going to be tapping into spirit, and dropping my phone also. I'm going to be tapping into spirit and asking them how should we use this full moon energy this in this closing chapter, what we should know. Cancer, has a lot to do with the home, with nurturing yourself, with your emotions, those deep, watery Cancerian people, Um, I'll tell you a little joke. Recently, my mom, she said that she wasn't sure of my birth time, and I'm like, I thought you said it was 6:14 p.m. What you mean? You're not sure if that's my birthday. So I got a hold of my birth certificate, but I was having a little panic. I'm a Leo rising, and for a second, according to the time, she thought maybe I was going to be a Cancer rising. No, no offense to my Cancers, but that was just going to shake my whole existence if that was so. Because that just didn't make any sense to me. I'm emotional, but I'm not that emotional and sensitive. I love how deeply Cancerians can feel their feelings, but we got to make sure all my Cancerians who are watching, we keep them in check. They are valid. It is okay to feel, but we just got to make sure that our emotions do not overpower our intelligence, okay? So I'm not going to chit chat too much longer. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pull these cards. I'm going to be pulling from the New Orleans Voodoo Tarot. I've given them a break for the readings for the past few of them, but I'm going to break them back out so we can end the year on a bang, with something that we're familiar with. But I'm also going to be complementing it with the Law of Attraction Tarot and anything else that I might need clarity on. I got some other decks sitting around here, Archangel decks and Goddess decks, all sorts of shit. I even got a devotional on deck. I feel like you can almost divine with almost anything if you're really that tapped in. So therefore, I would suggest you get a notebook, get comfortable, get you a drink, you know what I'm saying? Don't got to be alcohol, but just some water, This year, it's been a good year to drink water and mind your business and mind the business that minds you. So with that being said, I hope you get some good things from this reading. If you feel compelled to book with me, you can book via my website, www.thetrapwitch.com. In the next few months, I will be taking a short break. I have some beautiful things that I'm working on, and I will be not doing readings probably for 2-3 months from right now, I'm guessing. But until the second quarter, I will be available. So if you've been procrastinating, hovering over that button like a lot of people do, I suggest you maximize on it. And with that being said, let's go ahead and let's get into this moon reading. Spirit, we call you in on behalf of the collective, and we ask for the highest good of all those involved with harm to none. We ask for clarity. We ask for clear perception. I ask Alegua to open the roads to precise messages, for clarity, for a clear message that is intended for our better good. What is it subconsciously below the surface, beyond the veil, that can facilitate in the collective's highest good? For the current astrological forecast, the upcoming Cancer full moon, December 22nd, 2018. What do they need to know in order to maximize using this energy to their utmost potential, in order to overcome any barriers, obstacles of the emotional, physical, mental, spiritual type that they need to come out of hurdles with? Feels heavy. I feel like a lot of you guys are really ready to get over these hurdles and realign with all the good things in life that are due to them. Good health, good love, prosperity, abundance, joy, pleasure, all of these things that we desire in life. How do we overcome them? By using our emotional intelligence, our spiritual stamina, and allowing ourselves to call in positive energy towards us so that we can overcome the tests and lessons that are coming to us in this chapter. I call in the Egun, the ancestors, the spirit guides, the ascended masters, the archangels, any of my great Orisha that wish to come in and be around and surround us at this time. Please do so at this time, only of benevolence. Where do you want to point our attention to be of good intention? And again, maximum execution of our highest potential energy. Firstly, to be of servitude to ourselves, and then secondly, to others. Ashe. I look cute today. I don't ever be wearing makeup to do these readings, but I'm a little, we gotta end it, you know, kind of. Whew. All right, here we go. Here we go, boo-boo. Here we go. Uno. Ooh. Dos. Ooh. Tres. Ooh. Cuatro. Ooh. Cinco. Ooh. All right. And let's pull from here. All right. I'm opening a little different this time. We're going to start with this angel card. Divine Order. Archangel Raguel, everything is how it needs to be right now. Look past the illusion and see the underlying order. If any of you see 444 a lot, this is the epitome of that, right? Look past the illusions and see the underlying order. A lot of times we feel like we are going through a clusterfuck of catastrophe, okay? We feel like things are all out of sync, but guess what? A lot of times Spirit knows exactly what it's doing. Sometimes you have to have gone through everything to get to the exact precise position that you need to be. Two words that are coming to me right now: your current position and your current power. Okay? Sometimes in life, we go through many multiple positions of power. We go from feeling low in our power to so-so in our power to full of our power, up and down again. I practice the tradition of Lucami, Santeria. It's an Afro-Cuban tradition. So some of these cards that are going to come up have these Orisha or spirits or deities that are familiar to me in there. And so the first one that came up is Olofi, reverse, okay? Olofi is an Orisha that helps bestow what we call Ashe onto us. And what is Ashe? Ashe is our power. And how does this play into what I'm saying? Your God-given Ashe in life, your talents, your gifts, your ability that we are all born with, okay? We are all born with Ashe. Some a little more so than others. But that does not mean that Ashe cannot be developed, and that's exactly what Ashe is supposed to do throughout your life. You are supposed to learn yourself and learn your power. And through every transition, every obstacle, as you learn yourself, you gauge more so on your power. Okay? So a lot of times these illusions, these places we've been in life, they were exactly where we needed to be to get a gauge on where we need to go. If any of you are familiar with the story of the Orishas, a lot of these people were people that were in terrible positions in life. And in the religion, received a lot of what we call okshobo, misfortune. And in life, sometimes we have to go through these misfortunes, right? Because a lot of these misfortunes are actually blessings in disguise, okay? They're illusions, so God and Spirit can show you the underlying intentions. Spirit makes no mistakes. Ever since I walked into the practice in February 2017, I was in it a little bit before, but when I finally decided to make that first step, I think the first reading that I ever got was E-Day, where I received a blessing, okay? Straight across the board. Ever since then, every reading I've got pretty much has fallen in Okshobo, okay? I like to say that I'm running an Okshobathon. But one thing about the Okshobos in our life is it teaches us something about the capacity of our God-given Ashe. Because when your back is to the wall and you are in a compromised position, you often learn about your emotions. You often learn about your mentality. You often learn about your physical self too, right? You often learn about your spiritual self. You learn about the many layers of who you are because you are a universe in yourself. There are so many parts of you that are compromised of God, right? You know how they said God created the earth in 7 days? And every chapter of your life is almost like the days of creation. On this day, this was created. On this day, that was created. On this day, that was created. On the last day, you gonna fucking rest. That's how it's gonna be. You're gonna go through life and you're gonna go through so many of these phases that you are being made. You are being created, and you cannot get down on yourself because Rome was not built in a fucking day. And when you understand that you were built to be everything that you were meant to be in this existence, but then also understand that you will not build that in just a single day, you will become a lot more at peace with yourself. Because a lot of people are not patient with the process, okay? The process is often breaking down the illusions, okay? And when we start to break down the illusions, we get to our foundation of what truly matters to us. Because when we go through these okshobos, these misfortunes of life, we are often stripped down to bone. And when we are stripped down to the bone and the grit and to the things that make us feel like we are just going to break, that is often where you find out how well you are put together. Okay? God made no mistakes. Spirit made no mistakes when you were made. There were no mistakes in your creation. And that's something that I want you to get over today. I'm going to say that. Mama Trap's going to get hard. There were no fucking mistakes when your destiny was handed to you. Now you have to come here and make this, okay? You're going to have to make the fucking best of it while you are here. One of the main things that they said in Santeria to us this year, because it was a number of the year 9-5 out of our house in Cuba. And it says, if you do not learn how to live here, you're going to have to go up there and come back. This is your home while you are here. And so many of us, we get caught up trying to learn the world, when the best thing you can do is learn yourself. So with that being said, the first card we have is Alofi, reverse. Maybe a lot of you are struggling. Alofi is shown here suspended in space with the earth within her stomach. A lot of you need to give birth to the world that you wish to live in. And how do you do that? Through your God-given ashe. Okay? Many of you, there's sometimes I talk to people and they say, I'm questioning being here anymore. And at some point, a lot of us feel like we want to give up because we don't see the purpose in why we're here. And I know a lot of you that are watching, some of you have contemplated that. Why even be here? If there wasn't a reason that you were here, you wouldn't be here. And just because you don't feel a purpose today, doesn't mean you can't find your purpose tomorrow. Doesn't mean you're not going to find it next week. Doesn't mean you're going to not find it next year. But you're going to have to start looking past the illusions and seeing the underlying order. Means you're going to have to look at the events of your life up until this point and look at what the trends are. Look at what you've been through that has brought you to. Look at what has happened for you, not to you. Every last one of you has a story. And that means every one of you has a story to tell. And everybody has a direct influence on the people around them. So how are you going to do that? Okay? First of all, how are you going to use your power to change your life? And then in turn, be someone who can change another's life just by simply being present and existing. Some of you put so much stock into feeling like your purpose has to be so grand today. When you go out into this world and you simply say, I might not know what all my skills are right now, but if my skill today is just to be a blessing in someone else's life, whether it's holding the fucking door open for them, or you see somebody struggling and just giving a helping hand, Spirit sees everything, and that's going to contribute to a better day tomorrow. God's Spirit speaks through everything. Speaks through the animals, speaks through numbers, speaks through our emotions. Emotions are messengers. So oftentimes when we feel these emotions over and over and over again, they're trying to tell you something. There's reasons why we are triggered in situations. Okay? The answers often lay there. I want to clarify Olofi. Okay? What do we need to know about this Olofi card? The sun. A lot of the answers for the light you are looking for, what you want to give birth to, because what I want you to be mindful of, look at how she's holding her hands. Okay? Looks very much like some feminine parts, doesn't it? She almost looks like Lady of Guadalupe, the way that they have her. What light can be given birth to? Okay? Through your existence. Every day you have an opportunity to be a light. Be a light for yourself. Be a beacon of light for others. But some of you get so caught up in the illusions. How can I be a light? How can I be a lamp? How can I, what does it matter? Why do I need to continually give birth to light? What sense does it make? Your power and your influence means so much to impacting your life and people around you. Okay? You're supposed to come here and partake in the collective. People are a part of our process. And when we learn our God-given ashe, and we learn our power, and we get better and better at that, learning to deal with other people and other beings here becomes a lot easier. Now, one of the things I will say is that many of us, right, and I talk about this, they talk about this in the religion, is that the reason why we have to work on getting our Okshobos together is because oftentimes we don't clear our own Okshobos, they become other people's. Okay? And don't be someone, okay, because a lot of people who have good ashe and good light, okay, they attract a lot of people with a lot of problems because moths and parasites are sometimes driven to the light. And one thing I will tell you is that be a positive influence. Be great with your power, but protect your fucking magic. Because one of the biggest things that you want to make sure is that you're not interrupting someone else's karma. You want to make sure that other people's Okshobos don't become yours. Their misfortunes don't become your own. And sometimes that was something I needed to learn, that I needed to learn to quit with certain people. Because you can't help everybody. Okay? But clarifying this influence card, illumination. What still can you illuminate for other people? I started my practice by shining light on the things in my life that felt hurtful, felt painful, and I was learning how to process them. So I put them under the flashlight, I put them under the microscope, and I started dissecting them for myself. And what I started doing is sharing that with everybody. And when we begin to even illuminate some of our own problems, and we share that with the population, that can open up new perspective for other people. And sometimes you don't know whose life that's going to change. Do not underestimate how you can be a beacon of light and illuminate for yourself and also other people. So many of you, just at times, you won't let the spark get started. You just need a little spark. You just need a little bit of, and before you know it, it's And you're like, come on, y'all. Y'all follow me. I never imagined that shining light and new perspective for other people by sharing your problems was something that could be so positive and monumental. Okay? But the thing truly is this. Sometimes what we're experiencing in our life, these hold ups, they are blessings in disguise. Because sometimes spirit, right? A lot of y'all are waiting for the light at the end of the tunnel. And guess what? You have to light that motherfucker up yourself. That is one quote that I saw that is just like, I stopped waiting for the light at the end of the tunnel and I lit that bitch up myself. Y'all better be like Sean Paul up in here, motherfucking, give me the light. So many of y'all are craving so much light from other sources, but sometimes you have to look for the light inside of yourself. All of you have that in here, but you have to begin to sort through the darkness, sort through the illusion of sadness, sort through the illusion of anger, sort through the illusion of anxiety. And I promise, if you dig through there, you'll see something start to illuminate and you will find your light. But it is time now for some of you to come out of hiding, come out of your shell. Or for those of you who haven't begun yet to do the work, start to go within. Because some of you haven't gone within yet. The Couché card, this is the Hermit card in the traditional tarot. These are initiates on these beds on the floor, on these mats, okay, on the mats inside this womb-like room awaiting rebirth. They got some chickens at the end of the bed, and if those of you who know about African religion and chickens, there's chickens in there, there's a sacrifice. Sometimes you have to ask yourself, what do you have to sacrifice in order to come into your blessings, to come into your rebirth? And sometimes it's sacrificing your pride to say, I'm going to share myself. I'm going to share pieces of myself, the best parts of myself with the world. Because when I share parts of myself with the world, the universe gives back what is to be shared with me. Okay? You are supposed to go out and be light bearers. Okay? I said that this year coming up, I really gave up being really petty this year. I'm so proud of myself. But I said, instead of us being a people that like to throw shade, I'm going to throw light all year next year. We got to stop throwing shade and we got to spread light. Throw that light at a motherfucker. Bitch, you want some of this light? Look at all this sunshine. I'm going to be like Ric Flair, bitch. Ric Flair. Glimmer. Throw some glitter on it. Throw some... There is so much within yourself that is so beautiful that you won't allow the world to see. Some of you are so scared because you're scared of being judged by the people who are often lost in here in this world, who don't even know their ashe or their talents or their power. It's okay if you have something you like about yourself and you want to share it with people. It's okay if you have something you like doing and you want to share it with people. That's what we are here to do. We are interconnected. We are like the domino. One thing affects the other, cause and effect. And so for that Hermit card, we have denial reversed. This card's been coming up a lot this week in my personal readings for people. Okay? Denial. You got to get out of denial because it came up reverse. Look at the baby. Okay? Look at the baby in the ark. It's much like the story of Moses, okay? And I'm not the most well-versed with the Bible and shit, so let's go ahead and let's get some insight on Moses. Baby Moses. Basket. The story of baby Moses. Okay, hold on, y'all. Give me a second. So there was a pharaoh who came to power in Egypt. He didn't like it that there were so many Israelites, and he thought that they would one day take over the land. So he decided to make all the Israelites into slaves. He made them work from early in the morning till late night doing very hard work. Even though they were tired, the Egyptians wouldn't give them a break. They would just make them work harder. It was very bad. Pharaoh did all this and he still wasn't happy. The Israelites were still growing in numbers, so he decided to make a law. If any boys were born to the Israelites, he would have them killed. At this time, there was an Israelite couple who were expecting to have a baby. When they had a baby boy whose name would later be Moses, they decided to hide him because they wouldn't let anyone kill this beautiful, precious baby of theirs. They hid Moses for 3 months, but as he got older, he didn't sleep as much and he cried louder than before. So his parents did the only thing they could do. They made a strong basket, sort of like a mini baby boat, and put blankets around the baby and placed the basket in some tall grass in the Nile River. Baby Moses had a sister named Miriam. She watched from a distance to see what would happen to her baby brother. While she was watching, she saw somebody coming and she realized it was Pharaoh's daughter and her servants. They were dressed like they were famous and she had seen her before and remembered what she looked like. Pharaoh's daughter came for a swim. While she was swimming, she noticed a basket floating a little ways away in the tall grass, so she asked one of the servants to go see what it was. The girl brought the basket over to her where the Pharaoh's daughter opened it. The light startled Moses, so he woke up and started to cry. What a sweet, beautiful little baby. It must be one of the Israelites. Pharaoh's daughter said to her servants. Miriam had seen what happened, and she hurried over and asked, Would you like me to go find an Israelite woman to feed the baby for you? Yes, go and find someone who can nurse the baby, she asked. Miriam ran as fast as she could and told her mother that Pharaoh's daughter, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And got him out the water. Either way, okay, let's just skip because at the end of the day, Moses was my phone's on 1%. We're not gonna look up anything else on there tonight. Moses was someone who was dealt a misfortune in this life. He was born into a tribe that was trying to be enslaved. People with power who were growing and taking over the land because of their talents and their gifts. And someone who did not like that wanted to stop that and bring more misfortune by imposing these things because these people were so blessed. And at the end of the day, although Moses was dealt a great deal of misfortune in his life from what he was born into, he became one of the many prophets and leaders that led people in that story. So long story short, no matter what cards you have been dealt in life, what situations you have been born into, know that if God has a purpose for you and you have faith in that, you can see it through. You don't have to be denial in that. The denial is a river in Egypt. That's something you don't need to be in. Okay? You don't need to be in a place of feeling insecure about what you came here to do. Oludamare, okay? Who we call the great creator in Santeria and Itha. There's a tear coming from a single eye over this like planet-like thing, right? Take your sadness, make peace from it. Create a new existence for yourself. Maiden clarity. The maiden, the first phase of the goddess, someone who's coming into actualization of what their power is, how they can use their power to produce for their life. How can you use your power to produce for your life? Produce good things for yourself, produce good things for others. Okay? So many of you get so clogged by your own emotions of insecurity, anxiety, all of these things, you can't get the bigger view. Look at her on this big ass bird with this bow and arrow. She's rising above and she's got her sight set on something, and she's got some major intention to hit that mark. But y'all have to rise above and see above, because some of y'all are way down in here, down in the battle zone, and you're not taking yourself up into your higher self to see the bigger picture. You got to almost put yourself up where God is, right? And say, God, what did you see when you placed me down here? What was I here to produce? Based on all of the circumstances that life has put me in and the positions they have put me in, how are those positions that I've been in life supposed to help me get to my highest position in life and a position to help others? You gotta understand, right? Even with Jesus, right? Jesus came here to not only lead, but to serve. And so, first of all, you got to be able to know, how do you serve yourself with what you have available to you? And how does that help other people? How does that multiply? How does that become fruitful? You know, I'm not a major Bible bumper, but there's some great ass fucking stories in there you could take examples from. There is one about the man who buried his talents in the sand. This dude gave two dudes, you know, shit to multiply. And one motherfucker buried all his shit in the sand. The other one doubled, multiplied, quadrupled his shit. You are supposed to come here with what you've been given and multiply, double, quadruple that shit and allow it to be shared and spread out amongst people. And guess what? When you do that, it always comes back around to you. So get out of being distracted or with the siren song. A lot of y'all feed into that it sounds too be good, that it sounds real good, that we just came here to fucking exist and like live day to day on some BS. Are you serious? And some of y'all content with that. You're real distracted by like, oh, I'm just supposed to go every day, you know, getting on in the get by. I don't want to live in the get by. That shit boring. That shit's unfulfilling. You want to make sure that you are getting it how you live in this existence, okay? You are supposed to rise to the highest order, okay? To divine order, to the position that the divine has called you to be in, okay? And some people are going to be major leaders, okay? Not everybody's going to be a general. Sometimes there's going to be soldiers. Everybody's going to have their part to play. But at the end of the day, everybody's got their own ashay and has some participation in this place, okay? Integrity. That's the clarity of that card. Don't get distracted by the illusions. Integrity. What is the truth of the matter? And the truth of the matter is, you didn't come here just to get caught up in the illusions of going to work every fucking day and coming home eating fucking TV dinners or fast food and just kind of the weekend. Nah, like, and there's no problem with having 9-to-5 job. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm saying if you're not fulfilled and you're called to something more, what is your truth? Because if you feel like all that shit that you're feeling is false, then what is it that you came to discover? What did you come to find? Okay? What did you come to find? Let's pull an angel card. Beloved one, Archangel Shamuel, I'm helping you with your spiritual soulmate relationship. You came, beloved one, to be loved, to be love. Each and every last one of us came here to be a form of love for ourselves and in turn share that with others and allow that love to multiply so that we are loved, to be loved. The first relationship that truly matters the most in our existence is the one we have with ourselves. Unfortunately, we're often not taught about that. We're not taught that we are our first soul mates, because every day we are the ones that we have to spend time with the most. Okay? And so any of you that are sitting there by yourself, Sitting there with your own soul. How does it fit let me start over. For those of you who are sitting there with your soul right now, how does it feel to sit there with it? Can you say that you're truly happy? Can you say you're truly content with how things are going? Are you starting to unfold and to find what your purpose and that feeling of integrity and your truth is? Or you feel like you're living in denial? Are you feeling like I don't feel like I have any? That's a fucking lie. It might be the lie that you choose to believe right now, but I guarantee that if you put an intention out there to spirit to begin to show you, and you say, I'm not going to pussyfoot around with myself no more, you're going to be prepared to be pleasantly surprised. Today, you might not know what your destiny is, but tell spirit you choose to accept it. Do you wish to accept the mission? Because you came here with the mission. You know, mission impossible, right? Your mission, if you choose to accept it. Do you want to accept it? Or do you want to accept defeat? Do you want to accept sitting there with yourself, being not of love to yourself, being not of love to others? Love is the most beautiful thing that we come to experience in this existence. And so many of us, we feel no sense of purpose because we lack that for ourselves and we lack that in our interpersonal relationships. Let's pull from the devotional. I love pulling from the devotional. Discernment. Everyone has made bad decisions and wrong choices, and we have all said or done foolish things. Things we wish we could go back and do over. Unfortunately, most, if not all, of those decisions and choices cannot be taken back, and we must live with their consequences. But what if we could reduce the number of bad decisions by using the wisdom and knowledge of spirit? First, you must value the source of that wisdom and discernment, okay? Which is source. Next, you must apply. Incline your ear to wisdom and apply your heart to understanding. Also, you cannot be casual about wanting discernment. It must be a passion. You must cry out for discernment and lift up your voice for understanding. Finally, seeking and searching for Spirit's direction must be a lifelong pursuit. There's a verse that says, if you seek her as silver and search for her as for hidden treasures, then you will understand the fear of God and find the knowledge of God. What is the product of all your efforts? Discretion will preserve you. Understanding will keep you to deliver you from the way of evil. Wisdom and discernment are available to you at any time. All you have to do is look to God. Seek and search for wisdom with all your heart for all your days. Okay? Isn't that what I just fucking said? Show fucking enough. Show enough. Discernment. A lot of y'all don't want the clarity on what your power is. You know why? Because to whom much is given, much is fucking expected. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. But guess what? That shit's so motherfucking worth it. So many of y'all, right? So many of y'all will not choose to accept, because once you get that discernment and that clarity, you're going to be like, damn, was I not living in my truth? Damn, was I lacking integrity? But you want that. You want that shit. You want to see past the underlying, things that have been, you want the divine order. You don't want to feed the illusions. But guess what? So many people are happy with the illusions in life. Why? Because they don't have to be honest with themselves. They don't have to be truthful with themselves. That's pretty fucking sad to me. Y'all want one more card? Let's get one more. Let's do a closing card. Because I'm not going to do a ritual on here. Y'all are going to get that ritual on the download on my site. Okay, Spirit, what is the last word? Oh, I love this. I love this because she's probably a Cancer, okay? Yemoja. We're not gonna say Yem. I don't know who fucking spell it. Yemanya. Yemoja. Yemaya. Golden opportunity. Important doors are opening for you right now. Walk through them. Isn't that some Cancerian energy right there for you? Right? Water. Peach. Yemaya is the goddess of all the salt water in the world. Okay? She is the mother divine. She's more like the maternal mother, the grandmama mother. Ochun, my goddess, she's more like, yo, mama that ain't gonna really tolerate you. She's a little more of a diva. She's not gonna babysit you. Yemaya, golden opportunity. Okay? Some of y'all have an opportunity now to accept your mission, to start to gain clarity and discernment. And my ritual that I will be having on my site is going to be a clarity and cleansing ritual, okay? And I really want you to do it with your whole heart or not at all. Those of you who are ready for change, ready for clarity, ready for a new chapter, I hope that spirit busts you wide open and that truth comes forward and you begin to see how denial is not something that you need because it interferes with your destiny. And I hope that spirit begins to show you that all those illusions, all those things that happened to you up until this point, they were all purpose driven and they were all supposed to drive you. My fairly phone going spirit guides. You heard that? Bait, bitch. Vroom. You hear that shit? They say beep, beep, vroom. You heard the engine start up. All that shit up until this point is supposed to be for you to have a purpose-driven life. Now he warming up that car right now. He about to pull out and ride out in that bitch. That's gonna be you too. Get that engine started. Warm that motherfucker up. Pull out and let's ride out, man. Are y'all ready to really ride into what's next? Or are you going to sit there and slowly die? They say most people die at like 75, but most people bury themselves at 25. They give up. Give up on their dreams, give it up on their hopes, give up on their aspirations, and they just settle for what the Matrix has to offer, the illusion. You can choose the red pill or the blue pill. The choice is yours. We will clarify Yemaya. And the clarity of Yemaya is works reverse. You got a golden opportunity, but that work, you need to do the work. Faith without works is dead. So therefore, if this opportunity is presented to you, prepare to work. Work towards putting yourself in alignment to come into all of these opportunities that Spirit has for you, that were created just for you in this existence. You have to remember, ain't not one motherfucker on this planet that is you. There's going to be times where people are often imitated, but they can never be duplicated, baby. Everybody's got their own ashe. Everybody's got their own power. And nobody's you. Your superpower, your ashe is for you. You came to do what you came to do. So don't bother trying being like nobody else. Because if you working towards that, you're going to find out that all that work is in vain, because that's never going to align you with who you're supposed to be. Whew! That Che. She pulling out the car now. That wasn't do. This little lady live next door. She pulling out real slow with the lights on. She's illuminating the path. And that's what that first car said. You have to put the lights on, put your high beams on. If it's dark, you bust them high beams on, and you got to illuminate that pathway some way, somehow. But like I said, Stop waiting for the light at the end of the tunnel and light that bitch up yourself. I hope y'all enjoyed this. I hope that it brings you a lot of clarity. I hope that those of you who choose to participate in the ritual, like I said, www.thetrapwitch.com. You'll scroll down to the bottom where all my guides and stuff is past my sessions, and it will be there for you. It'll say Cancer Full Moon December 2018 ritual, $5.55. I hope you do it with a completely open heart and desiring a new perspective going into 2019. May your spirit guides, your ancestors be with you. They are always with you. For those of you who feel so alone, know that you have an army around you at all times that's just waiting for you to say, I accept the mission. Whew, I'm going to get emotional. They are just waiting. Those of you who feel so alone, that at night feel like you have no one to talk to, put a glass of water beside your bed with a white candle. And you are just going to speak and say, Spirit guides, my Egun, those who surround me, those who want positivity for me, those who want benevolence for my life, please start to show me and guide me where I'm supposed to go. And be prepared to answer their call. Because I can't tell you how my life has changed so magnificently since I answered that call. And I don't regret one day. It is hard and it is a lot of work. But I am so glad I took that opportunity and I began to see past the illusions and all the Okshobos and all the misfortunes to come into the blessings that we are meant to be in this life to ourselves and other people. And at times it might seem dark, but like I said, if you move past the darkness, God damn it, this cancer stuff always gets you, doesn't it? If you are willing to look past all the darkness and dig deep, you will find the light. Okay? I love you all. If you'd like to book a session with me, www.thetrapwitch.com. I'm very problem solution oriented. I love helping people break down and connect the dots and help build a blueprint of a new foundation for them to just start implementing new ritual and practice into their life. And I promise my bite is not bad. I bark a lot. Sometimes I've learned to soften my demeanor a little bit, but I have a spirit guide who helps me read, and she can be brash at times. I would rather be of integrity and truth with y'all and not blow smoke up your ass, okay? It's gonna be hard, but it's gonna be so worth it, okay? You're talking to the person who's been dealt so much Okshobo, so much that has been what someone would say, she might have not got the best destiny, but she's gonna make the fucking best of it. And some of y'all might feel that, and I'm going to tell you that I'm a testimony of that. There's so many things between last year and this year that I thought that I couldn't overcome. But guess what? Overcame it. We're still here, baby. We've overcome all of our worst days. And if you're sitting here watching this, know that up until this point, you have overcome all of your worst days. And tomorrow can always be a better day, but you got to be ready to put your mind in the right motherfucking place, okay? I love you all so much. Thank you for supporting me always. A lot of you that have, had sessions with me, I can't thank you enough. How much that means to you, to me, how much it means to you at times too, because so many of you thank me for taking you on or taking my time, and know that this is what I've been called to do now. This was not my plan, but I answered the call, and this was what was waiting on the other end of the line. So I appreciate anyone who works with me and asks me to hold space for them and is a testimony to their growth. That's more than enough for me, and I have so much gratitude, okay? I love you all, and I hope you enjoy this reading.